Thank you very much, DG.
No, I'm not. Okay.
You are represented, yeah, in capacity of a DG. And good morning, everyone. It's a privilege for me being here today to talk to you on on a health issue, and it bothers everyone. Beyond hepatitis, I will be talking to us about health generally. But before I start, my name is Dr. ITODO EWAOCHE. Dr. ITODO EWAOCHE. ITODO. Dr. ITODO EWAOCHE. Dr. ITODO EWAOCHE is a researcher, is a lecturer, and is a public health practitioner. I research in an area called salutology. I'm sure salutology is not a very common word you are conversant with. You are okay with pathology. If I mention pathology, you know what it means. But salutology is not very much common. Have you ever thought about the opposite of pathology? Do you know the opposite of pathology? Do you know what is the meaning of pathology in the first place? Patho is a Greek word, right? Meaning suffering. So pathology essentially is the study of suffering. That's what it means. So salutology is a study of health. It's a study of health. So everything that pertains to health is what I represent. And today, beyond that, I am also the CEO of Iseme Diagnostic Limited. We have an office in Abuja and we have an office in MAKURDI. We have been into this work of public health for more than a decade. We've given health talks to organizations, even NSCDC. I think we were there last week. Prisons headquarters, we were there, and around MAKURDI. During the COVID-19, we gave health talk across MAKURDI and all that. So we've been doing that for a greater part of a decade, just like I said. So today we are here to talk about viral hepatitis. I know you must have heard of hepatitis. It's not a new word. Again, it is a disease that millions are living with. Unknown to them, they are not aware that they are living with it. And this disease has killed millions of people too. That's the reality of viral hepatitis. So in Nigeria, about 18.2 or 18.5 million people are currently living with hepatitis B. 18.5 million people are living with hepatitis B in Nigeria. When you spread it, it's like 1 in every 10 person has hepatitis B. 1 in every 10. So you can count maybe 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10, but God forbid. So 1 in every 10. That's about hepatitis B. And in Nigeria, about 12.5 million people are living with hepatitis C. Now, I'm particular about hepatitis B and C because, and I will explain why. But let's move forward from Nigeria. Let's come down to Benue State. In Benue State, about 5 to 11 persons in every 100 are living with hepatitis B. 5 to 11 in every 100 are living with hepatitis B in Benue State. And then for C, if you count 100 persons, 5 out of every 100 persons is living with hepatitis C in Nigeria. That's the reality. Like I said, it is a silent killer. Do you know why it is a silent killer? Do you know why hepatitis is a silent killer? Because it affects the liver. And the liver is this type of organ that can be burning and at the same time be keeping you warm. That liver can be burning just to keep you warm. That's the nature of the liver. The liver does not have any pain receptor. So the cells, like the liver, is made up of several cells. The cells are called hepatocytes. 50% of the cells may be dead or damaged, yet you are still very much active. Like nothing is wrong with you. You are still jumping and doing press up and doing whatever. 50% is gone and you are active. That's how powerful the liver is. We call it a compensating organ. It's one of the compensating organs in the body. We have the kidney is also a compensating organ. Your brain is also a compensating organ. So before they go down completely, more than 70% of the cells must have been damaged before you start seeing the signs and symptoms. And that is why we say it is what? A silent killer. Do you understand? It's indeed a silent killer, isn't it? It is a silent killer. Now, like every silent killer, what do you think can go wrong with the liver? This will bring us to disease of orthodoxy, right? Causes of liver problem. What do you think can cause the liver to be damaged? You should know this. Don't abuse alcohol, it may affect your liver. Don't take some medications, it may. You said smoking, mostly lungs anyway. Lung is not a compensating organ, but like that. So generally, the liver can be damaged. Just what we do on a daily basis. There's something we call the anthropogenic toxicants. Anthropogenic toxicants, they are man-made toxicants. You are aware of, I am aware of, and you are in contact with them you are in contact, I am in contact with them. When we talk about anthropogenic toxicants, we are talking about medications. You all take paracetamol. Have you ever wondered why paracetamol is not given beyond 3 days? They would say take paracetamol 1 gram 3 times a day for 3 days. Do you know why it is not taken beyond 3 days? Because if you abuse it beyond 3 days, there is every tendency that it can damage your liver. That's the reality. Yes, that's the reality. Now, beyond, we are talking about anthropogenic toxicants, chemicals, heavy metals, like the mercury, the cadmium, radionuclides, radioactive whatever, we come in contact with all of the time. They disturb our cells, they damage the cells, even the liver cells. Part of the anthropogenic toxicant, alcohol, when you abuse alcohol, it can equally cause liver damage. Now, there is something I'm noticing. Being a researcher, in those days, I used to see those people that sell beer. They will give you beer and give you sugar to add. Have you noticed that? Are you aware of that in those days? Beer you take, this beer you take, is it beer? I mean, no, beer and sugar, right? But these days, they no longer present the sugar to you. Have you ever asked what is going on? What do you think they are putting in the water? They are dissolving in the water just to give you to take. You know, I have observed that they are putting aspartame. Aspartame is a carcinogen. It can cause cancer in your system. These days, they no longer use sugar. All they need is to mix the water they use for preparation, put aspartame, and then as you come, they serve you the beer. If you take note of your body, you will observe something. Each time you take me, I noticed it and I had to stop. Each time I take the beer in the night, I'll be urinating. I am sensitive to my body. Whatever I eat, I monitor how it goes in my body. And then I notice that these people no longer put sugar. They no longer offer you sugar. They only mix the preparation and give you to take. So these are some of the things that can cause liver problem. I am drawing this out, sounding this out for you to know. And you just go and ask them, how come you no longer put sugar? What happened? What are you putting to bring that, that sweetness and all that out? I suspect they put aspartame, and aspartame is not a good chemical. It's not a good sweetener. That's the reality. So hold on. Keep your question. I'm coming. All right? Let me be done. So that one part of it, we are talking about anthropogenic toxicants. They are man-made toxicants. They are chemicals that you can use. Those chemicals can damage your liver. Beyond your liver, there are other cells of the body that the chemical can damage. It is worthy of note that most of the infertility people have today, 90% of the infertility cases, they are as a result of anthropogenic toxicants, not even infection. 90% of infertility, they are the result of what? As a result of what? Chemicals you are exposed to. What you consume, what you are exposed to, not even microorganisms, 90% of it. So we should be careful of the chemicals we take into our system, chemicals we are in contact with, because they are the major culprit of most of these diseases you face today. Now, beyond the anthropogenic toxicant, there is another arm we call the biological toxicant or biological particles. On the aspect of the biological particles, we mentioned microorganisms, right? In the case of viral hepatitis, of course, we can only mention viruses. Viruses are part of the microorganism. You have bacteria, you have fungi, you have protozoa, you have viruses, right? So viruses can cause what? Hepatitis. They can cause the liver to inflame. Now, we have different types of hepatitis or hepatic viruses. You have the hepatitis A, the hepatitis B, the hepatitis C, the hepatitis D, and hepatitis E. Now, I told you that I'm particular about hepatitis B and C because they are the two types that can lead to chronicity. And when we talk about chronicity, we are referring to the persistence of the virus in one system beyond 6 months. When the virus persists in your system beyond 6 months, it becomes chronic. Ordinarily, do you ever wonder what makes you healthy? What makes you healthy? What makes you healthy? Prof, what makes you healthy? Have you asked yourself before, what makes me healthy? What makes you healthy? What makes you healthy is your immune system. What makes you healthy is your immune system, right? So what is the immune system? What is the immune system? And before I explain the immune system, let me say this. Before disease and health, between disease and health, which one comes first? Health. Disease and health. Health comes first, right? So, is it true, can God create a sick body? No. Can God create a sick body? No. Can God create deformity? Those that have deformities, are they from God? Did God allow deformity? Are you sure? Very good. If you read Genesis chapter 1, verse 31, it says that everything that God created was good. Very good. Do you understand? If you go to Genesis 2, verse 7 again, even the dust of the world or the dust of the earth that God created man from, or Adam from, that dust too was very good. So it wasn't God's original plan for anybody to be sick. Right? You go to, I think, Romans chapter 5, verse 12. It is out of our obedience. They say that through one man, sin enters the world, right? And sin, and then death will follow after the sin. So it is out of our disobedience that we suffer these diseases we are suffering. What am I trying to say? Remember, I'm talking about biological particles, right? I've mentioned viruses. Do you understand me? Hepatitis B and hepatitis C, they lead to chronicity, right? And I've told you chronicity is just the persistence of the virus beyond 6 months. All I'm saying is that there are viruses that can enter into your system, right? With your optimum immune system, they can get out of your system naturally. Because we have established that what makes you healthy is your immune system. And that's what God created. God created an optimum immune system. So if you have an optimum immune system, like no disease can stand in your body. Why you fall sick is because of disobedience. Don't take alcohol. Alcohol weakens certain cells in your body. Don't take this. It disturbs your gastrointestinal system. We disobey and don't overstress yourself. We stress ourselves. Even the Bible says, don't worry about anything, right? Don't worry. But you worry. Anytime you worry, you stimulate those negative genes to be expressed in your system, and that's what will cause problem. So you agree with me that whatever you are suffering, the abnormalities you are suffering, they are as a result of what? Disobedience. That's the reality. So that being said, that immune system keeps us healthy. What really makes us healthy is the immune system. That there are some viruses that can enter into our system. With optimum immune system, with functional immune system, they can get out of our body. Even the hepatitis B and C. That is why we say the persistence of the virus beyond 6 months. So it means that from 1 month to 5 months, it can get out of your system if you have a functional immune system. But by the time you don't have a functional immune system and it persists beyond 6 months, then it becomes chronic. Is that taken? Yes. Now, I've just mentioned hepatitis B and C. We have hepatitis A. We have hepatitis D. I've mentioned B and C, A, D, and E, right? Let's go to the A. The A is just an infectious hepatitis. It is what you get from fecal oral contamination, from dirty environment. That's where you get it from. during outbreaks, flood area, like that. You get it from dirty environment. That is the reality. So it is with hepatitis E. Hepatitis A and hepatitis E, you can get them through fecal oral contamination. And mostly your gastric, your stomach is full of acid. The pH of your stomach is like 1.5. With the high acidic content of your stomach, that virus, they rarely survive in an adult. That is why in children, they are still developing, and we try to introduce them to vaccine, because the vaccine is designed to protect them from even getting the virus in the first place. So A and E, like I said, they are gotten through what? Fecal oral contamination. And with your optimal immune system, they hardly, transition to chronicity, right? Now we talk about D. That D cannot exist without B. The hepatitis D will need the power of the D or the replicative power of the B for it to work. It will need a protein from B for it to replicate. So anywhere there is B, that is when you can see D. But it is not a must that when you have B, you have D. But that D will require the protein from where? The hepatitis B for it to replicate. That being said about the types of hepatitis viruses we have, and we've talked about how we can get them, right? But not in detail. The viruses. How do you think we can get the virus or the hepatitis B and C virus into our system? Like these viruses, they are contained in the bloodstream. The blood fluid. We talk about your semen, talk about vaginal secretion, talk about breast milk, talk about saliva. Unfortunately, or fortunately, saliva and breast milk, they are not very, they are in an infinitesimal, components in your breast, and then the saliva. They are not really much there. So you can't really get it from saliva and breast milk unless there are visible sores. There are wounds around your mouth area and then around the breast area before a baby can get it. And for adults that suck breasts, if the breast has wound, that is when you can get it too. Is that taken? Now, that being said, there are other contacts you have with the breast milk and even the semen. I'm a lecturer, and I come in contact with young folks all the time with very wide, experiences and all that. A young boy once walked up to me to say, sir, like I went to test for hepatitis B and it showed positive, and I never had any sexual contact with anybody. Though, like 2 months ago, he called it not a sexual contact, but he actually had a sexual contact with a girl, a medical student. He told me that the girl only gave him head. I don't know what head means, but that's what he said. But leave it at that. He said the girl only gave him head, and that head, and he used condom to meet with the girl. Do you understand me? All I'm trying to say is that even if a girl gives you head, I don't know what it means, but you can still get it. Do you understand me? You can get it, especially if there are wounds, if there are visible ulcers around the mouth area, you can get it. And if you are a guy that engages in cunnilingus, you know cunnilingus, you know fellatio. I think the head is what they call fellatio, and the cunnilingus is the opposite. Is what those that know how to wash plates very well, wash women's plates very well, is what they do. Is what they call cunnilingus. When you engage in that, you can equally get the hepatitis B. That's the reality. Is that taken? It's good I say it here because we have young people here, and you can't know what they can do. These young innocent faces you are seeing, behind closed doors, they can do what you never expect them to do. That is the reality. So know it, that you can get it through that means, right? Now it is contained in the blood fluid, right? So if you go to cut your hair and the clipper is not well sterilized, you can get it. When you use unsterilized needles, you can get it. If those that work in the hospital, if they have needle prick injury, you can get it. If the needle is contaminated, you can get it through all that means. Is that taken?
Yes.
Now, that being said, how do you think we can prevent this disease? How do you think we can prevent the hepatitis B? The sure way to prevent hepatitis B is through vaccination. Do you understand me? We have the vaccine. The vaccine of course, is a preventative measure that is designed to protect you from, getting a certain infection or a certain disease, right? So we have hepatitis B vaccine. Once that vaccine is introduced into your system, it will stimulate your body to produce an antibody or antibodies. So when you come in contact with the virus, subsequently, the white virus, the antibody must have been generated. So the antibody will go against the wild type and counter it. Do you understand me? But for you to develop an appreciable threshold of antibodies, you have to take the vaccine for like 2 times or 3 times, right? So that is how to prevent it. Again, for those that may not have access to the vaccine, of course, there are condoms. You use condoms, right? If you must do that, you use condoms and all the preventative measures you can use to avoid it. You don't come in contact with fluid anyhow, right? Now, we talk about for those that are already living with the virus, because there are people ostensibly living with the virus. If you are living with the virus, it's not a death sentence. Like it's just like any other virus in your system. And may I tell you this, that do you know you are all a working ecosystems of microbes? What I mean is that you are all, like the number of microorganisms in your system, they are even more than the number of cells in your body. You take, for example, you have about 380 trillion viruses in your system as we speak, each of you, 380 trillion viruses in your system. In fact, it will surprise you that the HIV we fear, the HIV virus, is even part the family, the family called the retroviridae. That is the family of the HIV virus. That retroviridae is even contained in our DNA. Do you understand me? The family where the HIV came from, is part of our own DNA. That is the reality. All I'm trying to say to you is that we are a working ecosystems of microbes. There are more microbes in our system than there are cells, our normal human cells. I've told you about viruses, that you have about 380 trillion viruses in your body and my body. You talk about bacteria, you have over 60 trillion bacteria in your body and my body. Compare it to the number of cells, human cells you have in the body. We have just about 10,000 or so number, or 6,000, or sorry, 6 million or 10 million human cells in the body. So it is like 10 times, the bacteria in our system is like 10 times more than the number of cells in our body. That is the reality. What I'm trying to say is that viruses or pathogens in our system, we shouldn't be afraid of it. We are a working ecosystems of microbes. For the fact that the virus is inside of you, it doesn't really mean anything. Just that it's just a call for you to be careful on how to, behave, or how to take care of your system. Once the virus is in your system, what we need to do is just to manage you. You go to the hospital or you come to us, there are certain extra tests you will run. We check for the viral load, for example, or we check for the APRI. APRI will measure the level of the fibrosis in your system. We know how much damage the liver has gone, and from there we give you medications. With that medication, you can live a very healthy life, right? You can live a very healthy life. So for those that are already living with the virus, it's not a death sentence. It is what we can adequately manage, and you can live a very happy and healthy life. Is that taken? That being said, again, I am an advocate, I'm a scientist, I'm a researcher. There are, beyond the vaccine and beyond the drugs, there are fruits, cocktails, we call it herbs, that you can equally take, even if you don't have hepatitis or have any health issue. The fact is that as you are growing, the difference between you and adults and a young person is the number of toxins in our system. As you grow older, you accumulate more toxins in your system. That is the reality. That is why a young person, the task they can perform, you can't perform it because they have less toxins in their system or lesser compared to you. So if you continue to detoxify your system, that is where I'm coming to. If you continue to detoxify your system and take in the necessary nutrients that your body needs, you can live a healthy life. It is as good as you taking the medication every day. Do you understand me? You take the medication every day to check the replications of the virus. Now, will you agree with me if I told you that every disease in this world originates from two sources? Will you agree with me that every disease in this world originates from two sources? Think about it. Will you agree with me? I'm sure you will not agree with me, right? But that is the reality. Every disease originates from two sources. That's what we call the binary disease orthodoxy. Binary disease orthodoxy. You are either deficient in a particular nutrient, or the nutrient is not being absorbed into your system, or there is a buildup of toxin in your system. And these toxins, I've mentioned them, they can be anthropogenic toxicants or biological particles. Anthropogenic toxicants, they are those chemicals. Biological particles are microorganisms. So when you look at it etymologically, you see that every disease originates from two sources. Think of any disease, and I will explain to you why it is either from nutritional dysfunction or from the toxin buildup. That's the reality. What am I trying to say? When you detoxify your system and you take in the necessary nutrients your body needs, you can equally live a healthy life. Do you understand me? You can live a healthy life. You can have a very high transaminases or the liver enzymes. Do you understand? There are herbs I know that can give you for 1 week. Those transaminases will go down completely, just for 1 week. It will go down. There are available herbs around. So people saying, if you have liver disease, don't take herb. It is true, because the problem with herbs, I tell people that the difference between pharmacology and toxicology is the intent and then the dosage. People don't know how to take these herbs, and that is why people will say don't take herbs and all that. But in reality, there are hepatoprotective herbs. Even if you Google it, you will see there are herbs that protect the liver. There are herbs that protect the kidney. There are herbs that God has given us to use. We just need to know the right dosage to take, the right proportion and all that. So on the issue of herbs, of course, they are there and you can use them, but in the right proportion. Is that taken? Now, if this virus is in your system, I talk about chronicity. If you transition to that level of chronicity and nothing is done, you allow the toxin to be accumulated in your system, you are going to wind up having a lot of issues. Have you ever seen people that are not under any pressure, but you see their hands shaking all of the time? They are shaking, they are not under any pressure. Do you understand me? The liver is a detoxifying agent or a detoxifying organ. And one of the things that detoxifies is your ammonia. Ammonia is produced from where? Your protein, right? Ammonia is produced from protein. So if you have excess of ammonia in your system, it will just cross the blood-brain barrier. And once it gets to the blood-brain barrier, it will result to what we call hepatic encephalopathy. Once you have hepatic encephalopathy, you start having this tremor, this shaking of hands all of the time. It's a sign of liver disease. Do you understand me? It's a sign of liver disease. It is time you check. You have older people at home, 60, 70. You see them. They are not under any pressure, but you see the hand shaking all the time. Maybe it is time you go check their liver out. And then some people will have pain here because the liver is located below the diaphragm here. You have a lot of pain. That pain will extend to your back here, even to your bum area. It's a sign of liver problem. And if nothing is done to address these pains, you will see that you start having liver scarring or liver cirrhosis. We call it liver cirrhosis, liver fibrosis. I told you that the liver has what? Hepatocytes. Now, the death of the hepatocyte will result in the replacement of it with fibrotic cells. So you have a lot of fibrotic cells in your liver, and it will alter the movement of blood and fluid around your liver area. Of course, if it happens like that and you allow it to persist for a very long time, it will result to what we call decompensated cirrhosis. I've told you that the liver is a compensating organ, right? It can be burning while still keeping you warm, compensating organ. But once you get to a point where it will become decompensated, that it can no longer serve you. The liver is tired, and at the end of the day, you are going to die. That is the reality of it, unless you go for liver transplant. Otherwise, the end result of decompensated cirrhosis is death, unless liver transplant. Right? So you can avoid all that by adopting a simple, positive lifestyle. It is not bad that you go and start looking on your own. I love people to do it. Check online and check hepatoprotective herb or liver protective herb, or check for adaptogenic herbs. There are herbs that can detoxify toxins from detoxify your system very well, and you live a healthy life. Again, you can have, if you are lazy, because some people are very lazy, they don't want to do that. Maybe you come, get screened, and once you are negative, the vaccine will be given to you. And that vaccine will confer immunity on you for like 20 years. So once you take the vaccine, you know you'll be protected from having this disease for like 20 years. So I don't know, but this is the message I have brought for you people. I don't know where I haven't touched, but I think I have touched virtually everywhere. And if you have any question or where I have not touched, you can ask so that I can address it. On this note, I wish to say thank you for your attention as I await your questions.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
When you were talking about sweetness, where they used to put beans, I know what we do. That's what they call your attention, and it's not just me. I've noticed that with square neck.
Okay, okay.
And where I used to take square neck. Long ago, they just put this for you. There's no sugar, but the thing is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to add that it's not just me.
Okay.
But I've observed it with square neck.
Okay.
And then the other question is mention that some fruits can help in defining our system. So I wanted to know examples of these fruits that define our system.
That's noted. Should I answer you now? All right, thank you for your contribution. You have seen beyond the beer, beyond the soya milk, even Zobo, they do that with Zobo too, and it is not good at all, right? It is not good. As for the hepatoprotective herbs, they are bound everywhere. Your turmeric, you know turmeric, or turmeric, you know turmeric? Okay, so if you want to fastly detoxify your liver, right, rapidly, there is a plant they call prickly cactus. You know prickly cactus, you know it. Those thorny plants, very short, they are thorny around, you see, they use it in fence.
Yes.
Those with sharp thorns, cut that thing, pound it, right? When you pound the thorn, you must have removed some of the thorns, right? Squeeze it very well, right? Then add this turmeric to it and drink it morning and evening. Like it detoxify you, your whole body, detoxify your system very well. That is just one. We have many, but that one should be okay.
I was meant to understand that hepatitis B is the strongest. But in the course of your lecture, you said for one to have hepatitis D, get its protein from hepatitis. So does it mean D is the strongest type of hepatitis? And the second is that, is it curable?
All right, thank you very much. So the reality is that hepatitis B is 50 to 100 times more infectious than even HIV. Yeah, 50 to 100 times more infectious than HIV. That is the reality. There are things you can get away with HIV, but not with hepatitis B. As to the strongest, I really don't want to use that word, but we have chronicity. Hepatitis B, hepatitis C, they can lead to hepatic fibrosis. They can destroy your liver, right? And then the hepatitis D too can equally destroy your liver. But what I can tell you is that hepatitis B is 50 to 100 times more infectious than HIV. Okay, the hepatitis B for now, the reality is that you can manage it, right? Scientifically, you can manage it. You can manage it. Like you can manage it, live your life freely and happily with either you detoxify your system or you go to take medications. You can live a very happy life with hepatitis B. But hepatitis C is curable. There are medications available you can take for like a month or 3 months and you become negative. But for B, you can just manage it. And managing it, don't be negative. It's like any other virus in your system. I've told you are a working ecosystems of microbes. It is what you know that you are managing. There are thousands of other microorganisms in your system that you are not even aware of. So you can just live a happy life by managing it. Yes, sir.
Well done, sir. I want to ask a question. We talked about hepatitis. Made mention of having pain around your
Right.
right hand side.
Right.
Where
Yes.
the device
Yes.
charges down to the
Yes.
wrist.
Yes. Yes.
Is that the only sign and symptoms of hepatitis? Because you said that if you can come to your place to be tested to know whether you have hepatitis. But are there any other signs and symptoms that you can tell us?
Yes. The thing is that you see, once the liver start going bad, you start having fatigue. Every little exercise, you become tired unnecessarily. Fatigue. Do you understand me? And then unexplained weight loss. You start losing weight. You can't explain it. You are eating very well, but you are losing weight. Do you understand me? Again, like I said, the liver is a detoxifying organ. You will see that if you're, because at every month you have a new set of blood. Now, the breakdown of the blood will result to what we call bilirubin. If you have accumulation of bilirubin in your system and the blood cannot detoxify it, you see it around your sclera, the white part of your eye. So you start having yellowish of the eye, the sclera. Do you understand? And because of the toxins in your system, you start having itching all around your body, even when you are not supposed to have itching. So these are some of the signs. Of course, your palm will become like punchy. You see it reddish with some signs, patches all over like that. So these are some of the signs. The signs at the early stage mimic that of like what you feel when you have malaria, typhoid, like that, right? The weakness, the joint pain, the loss of appetite and all that. These are some of the signs you get at the early stage. But if it gets to the late stage, that's when you start having the yellowish of the eyes, the itching of the body, the liver cirrhosis, the liver fibrosis, even the hepatocellular carcinoma. The cancer, I think, is the second leading cause of death worldwide, hepatocellular carcinoma. So the best thing is for you to be aware of your system. You don't walk by the sign and symptom. Know your body, whether you have it or not, and you know how to treat your body very well. Any other question?
Yes. Well done, Doc.
Thank you.
Mine is just related to our body in general, not in relation to hepatitis. Sometimes you feel other pains, and then when you are tested, it results to the kind of something that you don't expect. Sometimes maybe you have pains around here, then down to the back. Sometimes it may leave that place, come the other side. It starts going round and round like that. What do you expect in such kind of pains?
All right, thank you very much. So this is about health generally. Like, for example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, people were having classical signs of not perceiving something very well, signs of headache, malaria, and all that. And people, there are a set of people that believed it was as a result of COVID-19. Another set of people believed it was just radiation. All I'm trying to say is that these signs you are mentioning, it can come from anywhere. It can come from pathogenic microorganisms. It can come from, anthropogenic toxicants. So the thing is that once your cell is being perturbed, there will be a release of what we call free radicals. It's just like you going to this welder. Once they put an electrode on the metal, you see a spark, right? So once there is an abnormality in your system, either from anthropogenic toxicants or microorganisms, there will be generation of these sparks called the free radicals. Do you understand me? That free radicals will make your body so uncomfortable. The free radicals can lead to inflammation, it can lead to redness, it can lead to restlessness, it can lead to itching, like it can lead to anything. So it's just a classical sign. Do you understand me? And the best thing to do is to go to the hospital. So first, we can just check your system. Unfortunately, our medical system, there is no system that is designed to check the level of toxins in your system. So if you want to know how much toxins you have in your system, I'm not sure there is anything like that designed to know the level of toxins in your system. But if you come to me, all I will tell you, are you detoxifying very well? Are you urinating very well? Are you pooing very well? Are you eating very well? If you are doing all that, and then you just need to cleanse your system. We have drugs, medications that can do that. We have adaptogenic herbs that can do that. You cleanse your system and you live a healthy life.
Sorry, I have another question. Concerning hepatitis B and C, there are some illnesses that are hereditary. This particular hepatitis hereditary or not?
All right, so when you talk about that, it is not hereditary. The fact is that a woman who is positive, who is seropositive, who is pregnant and is positive to hepatitis B, the baby or the fetus is independent of the woman. That fetus can be born freely without hepatitis. If there is no communication or blood communication between the mother and the baby during delivery, like if there is no cut, if the baby is born freely without cut, the baby is independent of the disease. Do you understand me? And that again will bring me to mother-to-child transmission, right? So mother-to-child transmission is always when there is a cut. When there is a cut, when the baby is being born and there is a cut, there is a communication between the mother's blood and the baby's blood, then the baby can get it. Especially when the mother has high threshold of the virus in her system. So during antenatal, we tell people, especially women that are positive, to come for proper treatment, to reduce the viral load so that it will reduce the chances of the baby getting the virus, right? Again, there has been talk about once a woman who is positive gives birth to a baby that is negative, you don't breastfeed. You don't breastfeed the baby. You have to take hepatitis B immunoglobulin and all that. But it should be noted that if you are positive to hepatitis B, you can breastfeed your baby after delivery, provided you give the baby the first dose of the hepatitis B vaccine. Just vaccine, not immunoglobulin. So once the baby is given birth to and you give the first dose, just 0.5 mils, the vastus external here, you can breastfeed your baby without the risk of your baby, getting the virus from you. So you don't need to delay breastfeeding when you are positive to hepatitis B and you give birth to a baby.
Sorry, I'm asking it one after the other.
Yes.
The next question is, does hepatitis lead to jaundice or does jaundice lead to hepatitis?
Like I mentioned to you about the bilirubin, that buildup of bilirubin in your system will lead to yellowish of the eyes. Do you understand me? So when a baby is giving birth to, not all babies wind up having, not all jaundice can be said to be hepatitis. Yes, some can happen, due to certain conditions, but not hepatitis. And you see, once they are giving birth, your early morning sun, they get enough vitamin D, and you see gradually that yellowish, that jaundice will disappear from the body. But we are talking again, you can, as a mother, you can have the jaundice. Do you understand? So jaundice from birth, babies with jaundice is not always hepatitis B. Yes. Yes.
Morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Have your name in the book. So I ask my director.
Thank you, sir.
Not that I have any bias.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
I say it's very interesting. From the world.
Thank you, sir.
But because when I want to see even on this, what was ground is the vision of the world. That's the story for another. But we'll make sure he sees me. Doc.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
My question is this. A few years back, a team of doctors, those that came here to talk about very eventually, I was given things. I can't really tell what happened along the way. Just got that first dose and there was a break in communication. That was that up to now. I'm not going to So as it stands now, my case, how do I go from here?
All right. Thank you, sir. So the thing is that that even reminds me, we are going to be conducting free screening for everybody. Free screening. So the screening is going to be free. And for those that will be negative, right? We can give you the vaccine. But that vaccine will come at a cost. Do you understand me? And that vaccine, you have to take it for at least, like I said, 2 times. You take the first dose, after 4 weeks, you take another one. And if you want to boost your antibodies very well, you take it after another 4 weeks. So you'll be well protected. For you that you have taken for a very long time and you fail to, I mean, it's as good as you starting all over again before you can build that antibody threshold.
How soon is
We can, after this lecture, we'll set a table and we'll do it for you. Free of charge. The testing is free.
Talk now. And you know,
My first one is planning your hepatitis B. For one, that first person, and the person is not on medication. How long does the virus take to recover the person?
Okay. Like I said, don't wait till the liver is shut down. I say the person should not wait till the liver is shut down. Like I said, the liver is a compensating organ. It's still serving the person but dying gradually. If about 70% of the liver cells are damaged, that person will go into a state of decompensated cirrhosis that you can't revive the person again. That is the reality.
the question is, if at all the person has not attempted anything, for how long will the person last?
Am I God? The person should just start. Men, you go to the hospital, we check the level of the damage to the liver. Do you understand me? From there, we can give you medication that you'll be taking. Do you understand? You mustn't wait till the liver is completely damaged. Yes.
Because you start taking medication, the virus is suppressed.
Yes, now, that's, yes. Yes.
Okay. Doctor, please.
For me, there have been a lot of questions about IT. So I will take a minute of that. But my question is, like I said, I'm addressing it. You made mention of disobedience as part of the problem, cause of some of the diseases we have. And then you spoke about positive lifestyle that would alcohol. Now, you never was specific about giving an example of disobedience, giving an example of things that excuse me. When he was giving an example of don't smoke, don't do this, it was not specific and people. Calm down. Now, you also didn't give specific example of what connotes positive lifestyle. Now, okay, my colleagues have said you did, so let me leave those ones. My concern is this, like I said, me and others I'll wait on my own after here. Now, my concern is this. As we sit here, in your discussion with us have exposed us to certain things that if we are to imbibe this positive lifestyle going forward, a number of people get out of business. Well, like, you, for me, if I'm to take, because I won't be with you when you're producing beer, that means completely no beer anymore. I will not be with you when you're producing ceramic, so no ceramic anymore, no zobo and the likes. A number of people are into this business for survival. So, are there things one can do, for instance, that the person in the business can do to be in the market and avoid causing cancer or other form of disease for people? And for the person taking, some of us, the fact is that beer is our breakfast. It's difficult for some people to live it. And those are in the category I'm talking about. Some of us wake up very early from our to eat. So when you come here, stay up to about 10 or so, you want to go and eat beer. Come and continue. So it's like a permanent thing. So for those of us who can also not do without, there's something there, that thing there. So I mean, another here, a number of us will do. So on the path of the person taking, what should we look out for? What should be our reaction? I know that this could be difficult, but that is where we have found ourselves. A number of people that are in the business are going to be seeing this lecture as lecture to come and demarcate them. And of course, the reality is that those of us who have the discipline, who have the fear from today, who are living such things. So I don't know if my question has been very wide that we have of position.
Okay, thank you very much. The business, I know a lot of people will be out of business. The reality is that even in the pharmaceutical industry, you know, they are the biggest sponsor of government. I don't know if you are aware of this. The pharmaceutical company, they are the richest in the world. And every government, they are the biggest contributor to any government. Why they produce these medications? And what the medications do essentially is to address the signs and symptoms that you wind up with, right? They don't actually tell you to look at the root cause of every disease, because if you start looking at the root cause of any disease, they'll be out of business. That's the reality. And for me, I am not just, it's very easy to make a lot of money from drug, from pharmacy, from business, but it's good to tell the truth. Do you understand me? I shouldn't be discussing herbs, you know, to you guys. I have a lot of medication for viral hepatitis that you can buy. You go to Rovi, I have drugs in Rovi, I have drugs in Franklin here. I have a lot of medication for viral hepatitis. But let's get to the root cause of everything, and let's be truthful, not all about money. Of course, if you tell the truth, a lot of people will be out of business, but that is the truth. If they want to, you know, continue with their business, maybe they return to the status quo. Do it the way you used to do it before and not mixing aspartame. Prepare your beer and offer someone sugar. Do you need the sugar or not? If you don't need it, that's fine. You mustn't kill somebody because you want to make money. And we should all keep quiet because it's your business. I'm not sure it is so. It's like that everywhere. You live on someone. People live on people to make money in this world. Dora Akunyele, late Dora Akunyele, when she came, she was against, you were eating bread, you know, carcinogenic bread in those days. She came and destabilized a whole lot of things. You were taking a lot of adulterated drugs, counterfeit drugs in those days. She came and dismantled the business. People were against her because she was going after people's livelihood, people's business. But must you continue, you know, living? It's like blood money, you know, living, profiting from people's life because you want to keep doing your business and all that. It's good we tell the truth. And you know, I'm happy you people are not many, but you can live a very positive life, you know, adopt a very positive lifestyle. On your own, your wife can do the beer for you, right? They can do the zobo for you. It doesn't take anything to do zobo. You can do it and put the necessary spices you want to your own taste. It is better. Do you understand me? So after all, rushing to work, if there is no life, you can't come. So you must be healthy before you come. You take your time to prepare your meal very well because that's what makes you healthy. Before you do any other thing, you can be running. It's like a rat race. The day you fall, in few minutes, another person will replace you. That is the reality of life, and life will continue. Take good care of your health. It's very much high yield. And those that want to be out of business, let them be out of business. If you want to profit on people's health, then it is not good. That is how it is. And so the thing is that, like I've told you, you can prepare your own beer. Do you understand me? And for every adult, if you are above 40, 35, 40, it is good to detoxify your system. That's the reality. We have detoxifying agents you can use. You can maintain a good health. I see there are things I really don't want to say because we are researchers. We receive people all the time, and we see young people as young as 20 coming for sex-enhancing drugs. And yes, like what do you need it for? A lot of toxins in your system. Detoxify your system and you'll be ever strong. But you see the society is weak. You take soft drink, you abuse alcohol, you take a lot of chemicals into your system, you have poisoned your body to the extent that you can't function again. In no time, you are 30 and you are looking like 60. You are 20 something and you are looking like 50. It's because of too much toxins in your system. You can detoxify the toxins and live a very healthy life. That's the reality. So it is not me that said, you know, I told you about disobedience in Romans 5 verse 12. Like God gave us that option. Do you understand me? He gave us option to do anything we want to do. But he will tell you to do the right thing. Do you understand me? It is out of man's disobedience that we are suffering what we are suffering. And some people will disobey what I have said and still continue with what they are taking. And the suffering will continue.
So, sorry, she was talking. I always like bringing the example to this. Naturally, I'm somebody that doesn't like medication. I don't like medicine, so always bitter.
No, the bitter, the better. Continue.
So when it even comes to herbs, I know as much as they are good, I know they are good, but the bitterness. So is there a way that you can take the herbs, but not as bitter as they are, and they can still be effective.
So, thank you,
They
sir.
can still be effective, but not as bitter as they should be.
Thank you, sir. One, the bitter, the better, especially liver. Hold on, don't worry. That liver, I forgot to tell you that bitter leaf, right, is very good for the liver. It detoxifies the liver very well. Bitter leaf detoxifies the liver very well. The bitter, the better. However, like those that are into drug production, there's something we call excipient and another we call active pharmaceutical ingredient, API. We have API, we have excipients. API is the active pharmaceutical ingredient. That is that small molecule that can take care of whatever that is wrong with you. Do you understand me? But we have another one we call excipient. That excipient, they are the additional things added to the drugs or to the API to facilitate the intake of that thing. It could be a sweetener, it's just a mild sweetener just to make you take it. Do you understand me? It could be something. There are several things we can add as, or we can use as excipients to enable you take your bitter drug. Exactly. So we have a lot of excipient that would like. So that is the way it is. But you are not a child, so why coating your drug with sweetener before you can take it? Oh, yeah.
So you just mentioned about bitter leaf.
Yes.
So I know some they take the water, and I know others that they mix it with milk. Is it good?
No, the thing is that bitter leaf is not just the water. If you want concentrated bitter leaf, you squeeze it, you wash and squeeze, get the extract from it. Do you understand? That extract, you can combine it with anything. Again, if you want, see, I'm revealing so many things to you guys. If you want to detoxify your whole system very well, use the bitter leaf, use coconut water. Drink it morning and evening, like you will cleanse your system like a newborn baby.
So the pig milk, is it advisable?
I've never used the pig milk, so me, I deal with natural stuff. Yes.
You talked about the process of hepatitis. I'm surprised you did not mention that sweat.
Okay, continue.
I don't know whether you see you talked about all the hepatitis can cause through sweat. I don't know whether that is true.
Okay, thank you, sir. The fact, like I said, body fluids, all your body fluids can contain hepatitis virus. But in some fluids, they are infinitesimal, they are very small. And sweat is part of it. Saliva, breast milk, they appear in an infinitesimal amount. So you can't get it through sweat. That's the reality. Again, let me say this, you can't get it through sweat. You can't get it through the use of the same utensil, using the same toiletries. You can't get it. You can't get it through hugging and all that. All that ways, you can't get hepatitis through those means, yes. Sir? So, any other question? No, any other question? So we are going to arrange